Oh, okay, so I just want to show you the reading that I did for myself at about 2 a.m. this morning on Monday, Memorial Day, it's Monday, May 30th, 2016. So, Memorial Day, 2016. So we have the Eight of Pentacles at the base, Knave of Cups, High Priestess, Death card, King of Wands and Hierophant, High Priestess, I'm sorry, the Empress, World, Four of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, I almost said the Two of Swords for some reason, Queen of Pentacles, Knave of Pentacles, and the Ace of Chalices, the Holy Grail. Here's the Oracle cards. I just did flip outs. I had to pause for a minute while I was shuffling, and I had the deck turned over, and this was on the bottom, so I chose Lapis Lazuli. Hematite was the first to flip out. This peeked out, and I saw it while I was shuffling. It came back out. That was the one at the top, and I was done shuffling, I believe. After cutting, yeah. So, and then this flipped out but stayed in my hand was the opal. So, we'll go into the definition of that. So I just wanted to show you guys the lapis lazuli, opal. Hematite and opal are both of Saturn. And then there's the fossilized wood. And the important thing is that these are very grounding and of the earth, as you can see denoted by the grass there. And then opal is very the subtle messages, the nonverbal communication, that you and source communicating. And this is you and the universe, you and the cosmos. This is karmic. This is people as resources. I'm going to go through the book and actually just really get into these and with the message that I got. Okay. Whew. Memorial Day. They weren't kidding. When I thought about Memorial Day yesterday, I'm like, I'm going to be remembering some ancients, okay? Not just people that have passed in this lifetime, but I think it's going to go way back. So, let me see if I can focus this. Well, it's not really going to make that big of a difference because I'm just going to be talking anyway. So, the importance of this message, and especially with the Gemini energy right now and the characteristics that are, you know, the Gemini characteristics that are of major importance right now are the fact that they are considered to have the gift of gab. They're very much in tune with the inner child. And because they have the gift of gab, they speak from the inner child. And this is not true for everyone. I'm just saying, in general, the energies, okay, of Gemini. And this is where the people who have that sign, Gemini, get the energies from. It's from the ether, okay? From which, the Akash, from which we all tap into. Everything that's ever been created, thought, it's all in there, okay? Past, present, future. So, what's happening... Okay. Okay, there's a lot going on. Okay, so the Gemini, the new moon in Gemini, the fact that they have the gift of gab, and that's where the truth is. The truth is in the word. And because Gemini is of the inner child essence, their word is of the inner child. And we know children are the closest thing to God that there is. So that's why they commune with the angels, and it's like instant. They don't question it, because until they become indoctrinated, there's no reason to not accept and allow. So because of the Geminic qualities, the new moon, the 9-year, you can see in the reading with the, and I'm sorry if it's not in focus, but it's the message that's important, so just turn the screen off and just listen, because the visual isn't important this time. The earth, okay, and the cosmos. And in the world card, I don't know why it's like her being in this bubble kept calling to me. It was like the separation, this bubble. And the lines are going to be very defined between light and dark, wrong or right, up, down, what hurts, what helps. There's going to be a very defined line. And that's the essence of the inner child. They know the difference between right and wrong. Everything's very black and white. If it hurts someone, it's bad. If it helps someone, then it's good. So this is what we're going to be facing. And you're going to have to know what your truth is. Because these are both universe, cosmos, God, and they're both Vishuddha, okay? Throat chakra. This is heart, base chakra. So there's, people use this term, they throw around heaven on earth, but we're going to know the difference, the distinction. Okay, there's a very distinct difference between heaven and earth. This is the unified polarity that the energy that I was talking about, in the full circle and the flip side. Okay, it seems esoteric and abstract, but this, when you're clairsentient and empath, this is how it comes in. Sometimes it trickles in. You can't make sense of it until you're ready for it. And not all have the ability of clairsentience. We all have intuition, yes. But only very few have been chosen to be seers. The clairsentience, past, present, future, all that is, everything in the Akash, everything in the ether. You put a thought, I never have to meet you. It goes into the Akash. I can tap into, really, I just receive and allow is my thing, and not to try, because then it's clear, because you're not putting your intention in there, your energy of being impatient or whatever it is, So this world card of the 4 cherubim. The 4 cherubim are the 4 beasts with the 4 eyes back and front that guard the throne of God. You can look that up in the book of Enoch. And all the esoteric, the stuff that's not in the Bible, the stuff that's not in the religions, this is where the truth is. The Sufis, although they don't call themselves Sufis, they won't even call themselves practitioners of Sufism. They don't label themselves, period. They say they practice Sufism. Do not call them Sufis. So just so you know, they're the esoteric Muslims. Okay? Jesus Christ, the path of the Christ consciousness was the esoteric Judaism, or at that time there was a lot of idol worship with the gods in Egypt. So when I say God, I try to correct myself and say Akata, the creator, our architect. You know, the blueprint maker, the one who manufactured the program from which all creation has arisen, okay? There are many gods and demigods, and so I like creator. You know, that's where you come from. You didn't create yourself. You didn't create the grass and all this. That's Akata. Okay? And in the book of Enoch, where he explains where he saw God at his throne and what it looked like, and the 4 cherubim, and that's what's on the card of the tarot in my harmonious deck. The 4 beasts, having the face, one of a man, one of an eagle, one of a calf, and one of a lion. And now I know why she's in this protective bubble on the card, because they're protectors. And they are supposed to look scarier than any demon, because they're supposed to scare off the demons. They're protecting God at his throne. And where we want to be ultimately in the end, which is the new beginning, the new era of grace, is at the right hand of God. That's why we make the sacrifice now. And I've been agnostic my whole life. Never apathetic, very caring and loving and all that, but just agnostic, you know, very pragmatic, very sensible, I gotta see it to believe it. I'm very tangible. I'm Capricorn. I gotta have it in my hand. I'm very processed. I'm very methodical. I have to arrive at it naturally, or I don't believe it. It has to be within my experience, or it doesn't exist to me. And this is how I know Jesus Christ. Okay? The High Priestess card was calling to me. And I watched a reader, and they mentioned the names of what the columns, the black and the white columns, that has the capital B, I think, on the black one, and the capital J on the white column. And I forgot. I was going to write it down, and I was like, oh yeah, that came into me, and then slipped when I first started studying the tarot. And then when I heard that from the reader, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. And then I forgot to write it down and go back. So it came into me this morning. Boaz and Joaquin. And I'm sweating a little bit because this is kind of intense. And I don't want to reveal the name of my son, but I can't tell this story with authenticity without doing that. So, okay. So on the High Priestess card, okay, and then this one has a scroll above her head with the letters T-O-R-A for Torah. B for Boaz. I still need to do some research on that. I had a friend tell me, wait for your Boaz. So that kind of sounded neat. I need to research that. But Joaquin, I'm very familiar with this word Joaquin. I lived in San Joaquin County for 5 years. I went to San Joaquin Delta College. That word Joaquin was the streets. And in California, everything's San this, San that. It's very highly Spanish influence with the missions. Every street's named Santa this or San that, and then after all the saints. So I was a few months away from giving birth. I was pregnant at the time. My son's going to be 4 this year, so a few years back. I was reading a paragraph in a book. I think it was a book on cannabis or something. I'm not sure. All I remember is getting to like the second sentence of this paragraph and stumbling on the word Joaquin that I've read and seen a million times. And for whatever reason, I chalked it up to Prager's brain and my dyslexia and just, but now I know. Well, I knew a couple months later. But at the time, I just thought, I phonetically kind of just stumbled upon this and made up this name. I said Zoshin, which kind of sounded cool, like ocean. And then I changed the N to an M and said Zoshum. Then I changed the Z to an X and spelled it X-O-S-H-M, Zoshum. I'd never heard this name before. I thought I made it up. I thought it sounded like a cool ancient Hebrew name. But just phonetically, I like the sound of it. I like spelling it with an X. I thought it looked cool, very unique. Never heard it before. Didn't even think it was a name. Thought I made it up. A couple months later, the thought came into me, well, given my track record, whenever something comes into me, as abstract as it may seem, that I never heard of it, never seen it, I know it exists because I'm just tapping into what, being clairsentient, you're just tapping into what already exists. Something that was said, something that was done, something that actually existed. So I thought, okay, I'm going to Google it. It'll probably end up being something like the name of a river somewhere. Cool, okay, neat, right? And that would be the end of it. The only thing I could find, I couldn't find anything. A lyricist, poet, singer named Zosham something. That's the only thing I could find. So I looked up baby names, girl and boy baby names. Well, boys first, and typed it in. You know, you go Google, and there's lots of sites that, you know, have all the names when you're trying to find a name for your child, and you're pregnant, and you know, it's a thing women do, and men too, probably, whatever. But so I found Zosham on one of the sites, spelled exactly like this, Xoshm, and it was Kurdish. The origin was from Kurdistan. And quickly, I lived in a town where I had a neighbor who moved a couple blocks down the street to the same town, in the same town still. I bumped into her a couple months later after she had moved, and she said, "You're not going to believe this." And I said, "What?" She goes, "This is unbelievable, but I overheard my neighbors playing in the backyard, calling to their son, going, 'Come here, Zosham, come here, Zosham.'" Out of probably the only two people named Zosham in the whole country, and they were 2 blocks away from each other. We shared a common neighbor. So I was going to look up Boaz and Joaquin because of the pillars on the High Priestess card. I decided to start with Joaquin. What I found were all these different derivatives of Joaquin from the ancient Greco-Roman, Hebrew, blah, blah, blah. Very similar to Zosham. Joaquin is the Spanish version. Zosham is the Kurdish version, which I got when I mispronounced, and Prager's brain dyslexic channeled from the word Joaquin, the ancient name Zosham, Kurdish for Joaquin, which is, and my name is Anna. And Anna, oh God. Anna is the name of my great-grandmother. It's also my middle name. This is her ring. Weber, the weaver, the storyteller, the spider medicine. That's why I'm Emerald Spider, and I'll explain the emerald as well. The Clairsentient oracle, you can see for yourself. I never read the Bible. Like I said, I was agnostic. I come about these things naturally. Of course, everyone's heard of Jesus Christ, okay? But Zosham, okay? I thought I made it up. Turns out it's the Kurdish version of Joaquin. Anna and Zosham are the names of the grandparents of Jesus Christ. And I can show you the birth certificate on another video. This is not about whether you believe me or not. This is about God is real and God is in charge. The story of Santa Anna and Saint Zosham. Anna and Zosham, these are our names. Oh God, this is my great-grandmother's name. This is my family name. I channeled Zosham. Anna and Zosham. Okay. Now, past lives, whatever, phenomena is empty. That's not what it's about. What it's about is confirmation that God is real and Jesus walked this earth. I don't channel anything that doesn't exist. Sometimes it's so abstract that it tricks my brain into thinking, but then I eventually come around and the angels let me know, hey, go check this out. We were trying to send you a message and you just dismissed it. Don't dismiss your intuition, people. Not everyone could be a clairsentient oracle, but everyone has intuition. And God gave that to you for a reason, to be discerning, because there's dark actors, there's dark forces, there's demons out there. The devil is out to get you, and that's his soul mission, and that's his purpose. So you need to know who you are and what your soul mission is and your purpose and your truth, or you're going to be deceived and svengalied and manipulated like these poor beautiful artists who are trying to creatively express themselves in the music industry, in the film industry. The divine feminine is being eradicated. That's why so many ascended masters are descending now. And it's not the, it's the love and light and rainbows of all the new age stuff, but love and light, it's in the book of John. Look it up. This doesn't come from nowhere. It doesn't come from the universe. It comes from the word of your creator, channeled by these people like Daniel, the interpreter of dreams. I only know certain little parts of the Bible because I just flip open and there it is. Witness. That's what I got today. I was a witness. The Immaculate Conception exists because Anna and Zosham prayed to give birth to a child, and they had Mary. Mary gave Immaculate Conception. Jesus was of Immaculate Conception, had to be of a mother who was of Immaculate Conception, of pure inception. This is very important, okay? It's very important that Jesus came from a mother of Immaculate Conception. Not just that he was immaculate, but that she was immaculate. So the full circle, no one could ever say anything negative about his lineage and say that that is a reason to dismiss his message. That's why it happened the way it happened. And that's why his message is still alive today. If it didn't happen that way, it would have been dismissed. I know my son is divinely protected. I've seen it right before my eyes, like there was a wall right there. I have a very important job. That is my soul mission. I'm the hermit. That's why I've gotten to where I've gotten. My soul mission is to take care of my child, protect him, and to commune with spirit, heal, and as I'm going through my process, try to give it to you in digestible increments. Jesus has cleared the path. He left a trail of breadcrumbs, okay, so that it's digestible. And the clairsentients are supposed to help guide, be the light, to shine the way, to help others. We have a duty, okay? It's not about ego. It's not about trickery. It's not about phenomena. It's not about some Las Vegas sideshow. I will never show my face. Listen, I didn't even want to talk about my name, but I had to. There was no way to tell the story without doing that. It's about God being in charge, giving credit where credit's due, and knowing how powerful you are. And what is your truth? You better know, because it's Gemini time, inner child, throat chakra, the fine, or not so fine, but there's definitely a line of division. There is a divide, distinction between heaven and earth, between light and dark, between the forces of good and the forces of evil. And if you think the devil doesn't exist, I'm here to tell you it does. And if you think the devil's scary, God's even scarier. This is why the darkness, the hematite, is the perfect mirror. Because if you don't look at the darkness first, you're going to be blinded by that light. You can't look at the light until you face the darkness. If you don't face the darkness, there's no way you're going to be able to face that light. That's the process. That's the method. Okay, when I was laying in bed last night, because I pulled this reading at 2, was it 2 this morning? Did I go and lay back down? I can't even remember the time now. But I was laying in bed. Maybe it was before, and then I got up at 2 in the morning and then did the tarot. I can't remember. But I do remember I was laying in bed going the hematite. Unless that was before I even pulled the oracle cards. But because of the blackness, the smooth blackness of being the perfect mirror, and it shines white light more than the opal, I said to myself, that's got to be Saturn, the zodiac symbol associated with that card. And lo and behold, yes, and same with the opal. So, fossilized wood, get grounded, hematite, refinement. It looks this way because that's the way it's organized on the inside. Like Dr. Wayne Dyer said, what comes out is what's inside. And this is your connection to the universe with the lapis lazuli and the opal. And the opal is divine communication. Lapis lazuli, you and the cosmos. Opal, you and God. Hematite, you and yourself. Fossilized wood, you and the earth. And all elements thereof. We have the Ace of Chalices here, the Holy Grail. Okay? To grow from the Knave of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles, to gain that stability, you have to have the faith. You have to let go. The Four of Pentacles and Nine of Swords, you have to let go. As we gain, we have to let go. We have to maintain homeostasis. We have to maintain equistasis. As we forge ahead in time, we collect materially. So we have to let go of just as much as we're collecting, because we have to stay, I think the word is equistasis. We cannot get bigger, smaller, faster, slower. It is what it is. We need to accept that God is in charge. And don't believe the lies. If it's anything other than love, then it's a lie. If it's a redefined version of love, and they're using the word love, in the English language, the word is love, then it's a lie. Because what you are is love. Okay? Light and love. That's what God is. That's what you are. King James Version of the Bible. The book of the 528. The frequency of love is 528. Look up the Devil's Tone and how everything in the music industry, for the most part, unless you're in control of your own art, has been set to the Devil's Tone of, I believe it's 440. And Horowitz says to what? Reset it to the 444 hertz? 444. Hello, angels. Okay. You think I'm crazy. These people have books published, okay? I'm just telling you what I found. I'm not coming up with anything that isn't already out there in the Akash, in a book, somewhere. It has to exist. For it to come through me, it has to already exist, past, present, future, okay? And I know this message, it sounds scattered and jumbled, and I want to read the book even out of here, but it's just like, let me tell you quickly about how I found this Holy Bible. I was researching what's the best version of the Bible, because I want to start reading the Bible, because Jesus is very important in my healing, and I want to know some things. I want to pull verses, not just cards. I want to pull verses. These gem oracle cards, oh my God, they talk to me, okay? Me and God communicate straight through these cards. So I wanted this added element. I wanted to understand these stories more because of these truths that I was getting. I walk into the Dollar Tree. There's a Holy Bible. Holy shit. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm just letting it flow unedited. I'm not one to curse, but when the Spirit moves me, I can't edit, okay? I saw Holy Bible, I went, holy shit, that's right, I forgot to write that down on the list. There's my Bible, $1. King James Version. I said, if there's one just sitting here randomly, there's got to be a whole section in here, right? Yes, there was. I saw a thicker cover version